on. We look like twins today.
Come on. It's like we sent a memo to each other.
I love it.
I love it too. Family, welcome Dr. Keith Green to the show. Okay. Dr. Green, it's funny. I'm going to call you Dr. Green during this episode because it feels right. It feels like the right thing a journalist should do. I shouldn't call you Keith up in here. You earned the doctor. Feel me?
Thank you.
Okay, you did. Dr. Green is the executive director of the Chicago Black Gay Men's Caucus here in the city of Chicago, serving Black, gay, and queer men across the city. And he has also been inducted into the LGBT Hall of Fame. Okay. Dr. Green been doing this work for a very, very, very long time. And when a random publicist hits my info, okay, at email account and says, do you want to have Dr. Green on the show? I said, absolutely. It's so funny, family, truly. Well, there's somebody that you know who you could literally send a text message to, who sends a publicist to your info, okay? And then my assistant forwards it to me because I don't look at the info, okay? I can't handle it, okay? The assistant does forwards it to me, and I'm like, yeah, I want to have Keith on the show. Of course. What are we talking about here? Okay? But then you realize why, okay? Because the publicist was like, oh, and amazing. And then if you want to need anything else, here's all the information. And here's a whole event recap. And here are the links. And here are some quotes. And here's a sample caption. Family, all I'm saying is don't do this work alone. Okay, so, that's really
don't do this work alone. And shout out to the folks at CGI and my dog who wants to join me for their incredible work at getting the word out there.
They did it. Okay, we here. And I'm happy about it. So what brought Dr. Green on the show is that he was the recent recipient of the Bayard Rustin Award at the 12th Annual Truth Awards that were held at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills, California. Okay. And you flew out to LA to accept this really dope award.
I did, and I'm still recovering.
Tell me what it was like when you got the news that they wanted to honor you in this way.
It was very interesting because I also participate in this really cool program with ViiV Healthcare called Revival. And so there was a brunch on Sunday and we did an iteration of Revival at the brunch. So initially I got an invitation. I was, told to hold the dates for the weekend for Revival. So I had no clue that it was connected to the Truth Awards or that I was being honored. So it was literally like, I'm on a call with some folks actually Randevyn Piérre, shout out to Randevyn at ViiV Healthcare. He reached out and he said, I want to talk about the Truth Awards. I'm like, okay, cool. It's kind of odd to have the big man to reach out, but he did and delivered that news. And it was just it's special to me for so many reasons, right? The honor itself, it's named after Bayard Rustin. I don't like to call him an unsung hero anymore because he's getting his flowers now, which I love and appreciate. But I know Randevyn personally through Michael Henson, who was a love of my life, who passed away way too soon. And folks out there probably know Michael Henson. He started the Colors organization in Philadelphia. He was with the International Federation of Black Prides and then the Center for Health Equity, which is where he and Randevyn worked. Michael passed away largely as a result of the stigma and shame associated with living with HIV that comes from both family and church. So it was this, it wasn't necessarily a full circle moment, but it had so much depth to the fact that Randevyn was the person who was reaching out to notify me of this, and we sort of share this relationship with Michael. So it was actually really just a very proud and incredible moment.
Yeah, sounds really, really special.
Yeah.
It always kind of takes me aback when those full circle moments happen. You don't see them coming, and then they hit you full on, and you're like, "Let me, okay, I receive." Yeah, and it's like all these connections, all these relationships that end up intersecting in a moment, and you're just like, "Okay, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
take it all in. I'm gonna take it all in."
Yeah.
And there's probably some people watching this right now who have no idea what revival is. So can you tell the people what that is and how you've been showing up storytelling out here in the world?
Yeah, so Revival is a program of ViiV Healthcare. We've been in a couple of cities. We did Chicago, we did Atlanta, recently LA. And it is structured like a church service. So it typically happens on a Sunday afternoon or early evening. There may be sort of brunch, mocktails, that kind of thing. Actually, we did have champagne at the brunch on Sunday, which was cool.
We received that. God turned water into wine. Okay.
Listen, there you go. But it is, there's Reverend Don Abram from Pride in the Pews typically does a sort of short sermon or vignette. We also had Pastor, I can't believe, Stephen Thurston. I would hate for his name to slip my mind, from New Covenant here in Chicago. But it's structured like a church service, and the ushers are actually folks representing community-based service organizations in each city that we're in. And they're there really to literally usher folks to care, to make relationships, to let people know that they're out there, the types of services and resources that they offer. And so it just really is it's a nod to the Black church and our connection and relationship to the Black church. And it's a really powerful feel-good moment that I think folks really get connected in ways that they may not ordinarily get connected. And I've been really grateful to be a part of it. I share my personal testimony during the testimony served part of the revival.
And I love when we're doing programs like this, right, that are coming out of quote unquote, right, pharmaceutical companies like a ViiV Healthcare, but companies like ViiV who are doing an intentional work of connecting with people who are doing the work on the ground in these local areas and thinking of things outside of the box as ways to reach people.
Yeah.
And I've seen all of the revival materials. It's all looked good to me. And when I saw the people that were involved, I was like, oh, yeah, of course it's good. And of course it's making an impact. These people may not consider themselves storytellers, but they're storytellers all day.
Yes.
And doing this work for so long. And
Yeah.
to think about that, I mean, Keith, excuse me, Dr. Green, you've been doing you've been doing this work for decades at this point. I mean, you started this work with locks, huh?
I did.
And now you're over here with a gray goatee, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all this gray up here, right?
And all this gray up here. And so I think it's just so beautiful that you got this honor from the Truth Awards. Tell me what it was like to go to LA, be there in this moment. And family, let me just tell y'all, other people that were honored that night, I saw the images, but let me just tell you, Don Lemon, Jennifer Lewis, Duran Bernard. Child. Is Jennifer coming home? Are you going to the cookout?
I hope to get an invitation. Let me tell you. I'm such a huge Jennifer Lewis fan. She sat at the table like right next to me, and I sort of walked over, and Jackie's Back is like a classic. The gays love Jackie's Back. I walked up to her and I said, "Hi, Play Mama." She said, "Boy, sit your ass down." And I felt seen.
You felt like she knew exactly what you needed to hear.
I felt seen. Yes. It was such an incredible moment. several moments. Everybody was so friendly. There was so much love. Like, you know, there's the perception that Hollywood is, you know, and I'm sure there's a lot of truth to it, right? You know, very superficial and shallow. But there was so much genuine love from everybody I had an opportunity to connect with. And it was just an honor to be honored with that group of folks. I was excited to meet so many people, but Carlos King actually was somebody I was really looking forward to meeting. And it's so funny because, like, I'm not a reality TV show watcher. I didn't know who he was until Love and Marriage Huntsville, and that is really the only reality TV that I watch. And I'll be honest, right, it started, I was watching something on OWN, and these fine brothers are crossing my screen, and I'm like, well, who is this? What I need to be tuned in, right? Then I tuned in, and I stayed tuned in, and that was largely because of the way that they deal with and address mental health on the show. We don't see mental health being addressed amongst Black men on television, right? And so to see it and to realize that, you know, these heterosexually identified brothers deal with the same challenges that I deal with, that the people we serve deal with, and to see it sort of play out and to see them to get the help and support. Not that it always helps, because there's still a lot of drama. It's reality TV, right?
I mean, that's the point. That's
the point. But to have that piece in there, I was just looking forward to thanking Carlos for doing that, because I think the impact is likely greater than any of us even know, and we need to see more of it for sure.
John, I didn't know where you was going with that Carlos King, but I see where you went. And then see, this is why he gets the Bayard Rustin Advocacy Award, because all I know Carlos King for is being messy, and the reality show, and his podcast has been incredibly successful, and his producing work. But here's to him making an impact and mental health.
I was so I literally said before any of this, I said, if I ever meet Carlos King, I am going to thank him for that. And so to have that opportunity, and he was so humble and grateful and thankful for just like the fact that I even noticed and acknowledged that, which was super dope. And he's super cute. I didn't realize he was so cute in person. He's adorable. Hey, that
Carlos. Bald head, I'm sure it was extra shiny. All that,
beautiful.
And that is LA.
Yes, for sure.
And 150%. I think that's really great. Now, your publicist sent me great pictures of you. That's how I'm going to refer to her. Here we go. You looking?
Oh gosh. Oh.
So fly.
Thank you.
Wait, StreamYard has gotten
That's
upset.
us.
You accepting your award here.
Yeah.
Tell me about the speech.
So first of all, they originally gave me 90 seconds, and I was like, I can't.
Oh.
There's just no way.
So the way that's not gonna work.
Right. Then they gave me an extra minute, and I was like, okay, I can do this, right? Because you know, there's so much to say, right? There's the people I have to thank, family, friends, the people I get to work with, the people I get to serve, right? This honor is a community honor. This is absolutely by no means just and only about me. This is a community honor. So I had to make sure that was reflected in the speech. I also had to make sure that I positioned this moment in a way that, you know, shouts out to and pulls from the work and legacy of Bayard Rustin, right? Because this was the Bayard Rustin Advocacy Award. And we're in a time right now where we absolutely need to tap into his genius, his brilliance, his work ethic, his relentlessness, his audacity, right? So I wanted to make sure that I tapped into all of that. And so I hope that I did Bayard and my community proud, and left something on the hearts and minds of those people in the room. So many influential people in that room, many of whom, certainly understand the moment that we're in right now, but others who maybe don't. And so hopefully push somebody towards some action in their own personal lives.
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt about this. I know you did, as is one of the reasons why you got this award in the first place, but it's also what you do. This is the work you do and how you advocate for folks. I'm sure you embodied all of that. And now the Truth Awards got you to here on this here show, which should have been here a long time ago, but nonetheless, let's also talk about the work you're doing here in Chicago. With the Chicago Black Gay Men's Caucus. For those that don't know the caucus, can you just tell them a little bit about how you all show up in the world?
Yeah, so this is our 21st year. So the caucus is of drinking age. I am a founding member, and I think the history is important, so I'll share a little bit of it. It was founded really by Laura Branch, which is, a demonstration of the power of allies. Laura was, and many people may know her as DJ Lori Branch. She is historic Chicago house music DJ. She also currently works with Gilead Sciences. But Laura at the time was in the HIV/AIDS division at the Chicago Department of Public Health. There was a 5-city study released that suggested that 46% of Black, gay, bisexual, and same-gender loving men were living with HIV. Chicago was not included in that study, and we did not have really good data at the time, but it was, we were clear that Black, gay, bisexual, and same-gender loving men were disproportionately impacted. And so Laura reached out to a number of folks within community, from folks in community-based organizations. I was at Test Positive Aware Network at the time, party club promoters, Rails Marketing Group, Otis Mag, Miss Ruffin Stuff. Like, she brought everybody together and began to strategize about how we could make sure that prevention and treatment messages were just, our community was infiltrated with those messages. And that was the start of the Chicago Black Gay Men's Caucus back in 2005. That's still a huge part of our work, ensuring that prevention, treatment, knowledge, messaging, accurate prevention, treatment, knowledge, messaging is out there. We are very intentional collaborators. So we also spearhead the Mind, Body, and Soul Health and Wellness Circle, which is a collective of 6 Black gay-led organizations who come together to ensure that our community has pathways to all of the various resources that we provide, and to, do our best to squash competition, right? Sure, we have to compete for grants and things of that nature, but we have learned, and I'm not saying that it's, it doesn't come without its challenges, but we've learned that we all have our separate independent niches, and we all bring something different to the table. So collaborating is the best way to go in service of our community. And so we, work on a number of collaborative grants together. We apply for grants together. We still compete for grants, but it's not in a way that in any way tears any of our partner organizations down. We also spearhead the Chicago Methamphetamine Task Force. Meth has been one of my deep interests because of the impact that it is currently having within our community amongst Black, gay, bisexual, and same-gender loving men specifically. I personally know a number of brothers who are and have been impacted. But it's such a folks, think that meth is a white disease and a gay white disease specifically in our community. But we know that that's absolutely not true. We're proud to partner with CMA, Crystal Meth Anonymous. We host a Friday evening meeting there at our offices. And then our workforce development work. I feel like a huge piece to getting us to the end of the epidemic rests within the HIV healthcare workforce generally, right? Ensuring that folks within our workforce have the knowledge, the tools, the skill sets to be able to, in culturally affirming and appropriate ways, engage with us and link us to the appropriate resources, but also ensuring that workforce is healthy and whole, right? So we offer we do a happy hour. I actually bartend the happy hour, which I love.
Danger.
True. But the Caucus Hub happy hour for specifically folks within the workforce. Come by first Thursdays of the month, 5 to 7, have a drink, chop it up. We don't talk a whole lot of business, but it's just a good time, and it allows me to keep my finger on the pulse of what's actually going on in community.
Yeah. So family, you can see the Caucus is busy. Okay. And they have been doing this work for such a long time. I love that you shared the history. So much of that I didn't know. And I love to hear Chicago gay history. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
And then also the work around meth, right? Yeah. I think it's something we don't think about absolutely as being a Black thing. It's not a drug that we think about Black folks using, right?
Oh.
And it's 2026. Black folks out here doing all types of things that we didn't do in 1996 or 2006, pre-COVID, child. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, right. And so the fact that y'all fingers are on the pulse of that, I think, is so important. So important. And the fact that there's a Meth Anonymous, it's so real, because I think there's also shame wrapped around addiction and especially something like meth. So I think that's just so dope. Tell the good people where they can tap in. You following the Caucus somewhere? What's the website? All the good things.
Yeah, so our website is www.chicagoblackgaymenscaucus.org, our full name spelled out. Instagram is @_caucus, CAUCUS. Sure, I can spell today. And we're the Chicago Black Gay Men's Caucus on Facebook as well.
There you go, family. Go follow. Of course, we're going to cut this, make it its own video. It'll be in the show notes for you, okay? So you can tap in, give a donation. We talk about this all the time.
We love donations.
You love it, right? The kind that folds, not the kind that jingles, okay? The kind that becomes reoccurring month over month, huh? Not just a one-time donor. We like those even more.
We love those.
We love those. Family, because we know that when it comes to our organizations, we just can't be here, and amplifying is great. And yes, we must also protect them to ensure that they sustain through this moment that we're living through.
Yes.
And so it's important that we do that for organizations like the Caucus. Now, I got you for like 2 more minutes, and I got to ask you about this. I meant to ask you earlier, but I got to ask you now. You were staying at the hotel where Whitney Houston, in fact, did take her final breath. And I already know, I follow you on social media. I know what you feel and how you feel about Whitney.
Yes.
You went to the room.
I did. I couldn't help myself. Because I was on the same floor, right? It's like, I'm on this floor. That room is, so like I got there Friday night. I don't think I did it till Sunday. But I was so like, I have to. Whitney means the world to me as a vocalist, as her story, her struggle. When I think about revival, things like revival, right? Gosh, like that is a space that someone even like Whitney could have appreciated and found safe haven and refuge, right? She loved the Lord.
Yeah.
She was, I don't know whether or not she was conflicted with respect to her sexuality, but certainly there were some challenges there based on what we now know, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel like, you know, I connect with her on such a deep level. So to be in that space, receiving that honor, and staying on the same floor, it just felt like, again, one of those moments that, like, and there was so many of them. I wish we had more time, but there was so many moments like that would just like sort of full circle in a way.
Yeah. Whew. When I saw you made that post, I was like, you went. Oh my God.
Did.
On the same floor. Wow.
I couldn't help it. It's been renovated, and I didn't go in, of course, but I've heard that they renovated it. It was out of circulation for a little bit. They, you know, yeah.
Sure. And I'm sure the room ought to come at a premium. What?
It ought to.
One of the greatest vocalists of all time.
Of all time. Yes. And there was a Whitney tribute in the ceremony as well, which was crazy.
This is what I mean. When all these things intersect, family, life is not an easy thing.
Yeah.
And it's about how we live it, right? And I find, as I keep living it, that these moments that you experienced, Dr. Green, is that when they come, all these other things align with it. That there's all these other intersections and relationships that converge in this moment that make it a moment that you know was made just for you. That you showed up right on time. That if it would have come a year earlier, it would not have been the same. That when it happens so easily, so naturally, because it was made just for you. Family, when things are hard, you're trying to struggle to make something happen. I'm telling you right now, stop, pause, and just pause. Try again later. Because honestly, when it's something that you're supposed to be doing, it will come so easily. Not without hard work, not without all of the things that come along with living life. But there's just some special pieces that happen that you cannot explain, that no one could have planned.
Yeah.
They just sort of happen. And it reminds you that this moment was for you.
Amen.
Yeah. And the Truth Awards were for you. I'm so happy for you because, child, people be flying over Chicago. Okay, they feel like we ain't got nothing going on here. Okay, okay, you have to go to LA for these awards. All right, and so
don't sleep on the shine now.
Don't sleep on the shine. Period.
Period.
Dr. Green, thank you so much for being.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this, and it's always a pleasure to chat with you.
Always good. Always good.
Yes.
Family, you already know this is what we're doing every Monday at 7:00. We are going live right here on E3 Radio's channel. And then every Thursday at noon, we're going live. Yes, Monday nights, deep dive into our top queer news stories. Thursdays, we're going to do any top stories and then culture and entertainment and hopefully more interviews just like this one that we just had with Dr. Keith Green from Chicago and talking about his award. What a fun day. Yes. Have lunch with me next Thursday and we'll keep the conversation going. We are Queer News Done Right.